Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel. It is 7:15 on the 27th of February. It's Monday evening. We are taking a look at Flare Network / Tether, ticker symbol FLRUSDT. This is the KuCoin data, tradingview.com. We're looking at a daily chart, a couple different levels I want to speak about as the price continues to underperform here. We have an overall market slump that we are currently in. Bitcoin, after initially breaking out, has pulled back for now. We'll see how far it goes. Obviously, on that, it is not helping other projects break out to the upside. I've said it many times, guys. If Bitcoin doesn't do well, many of these cryptos will not be able to buck that trend. So let's take a recap. Welcome to the channel, guys. Appreciate all of the subscribers. Thank you very much for helping grow the channel. So we initially have had a multiple breakouts out of this pennant pattern over in here on the, let's see, that would be the late January, the 30th or so of January. And then we once again had a very nice move up initially in the trading day and a relatively weak close on the 21st of February a couple days ago. So far, that is our most recent high we have here. Notice how resistance came in at one of our overhead levels, 49.10. We wicked up to a high of 49.22, and our overhead resistance is at 49.10 so far. Like I said, that is our most recent high. I have it circled because that is our most recent high to get back above at some point when the price decides to move back to the upside. Let's take a step a little bit closer to today's date. We initially broke out of the pennant. That was good to see. Not a good candle though. It was a weak close. And then we have resistance once again at the 43.01 level, and we have faded back into the pennant. Big whipsaw day on the 25th. And guys, we actually have turned the bottom of this pennant pattern into resistance, which is not good. So the bottom of this pennant line here was support. You can see it was support right around the 25th of January. I have a circle right here where it was support once again around the 9th and 10th of February. And so far we have broken below it, and it has been turned into resistance yesterday. And then, that was Sunday the 26th. Monday the 27th, and then right now we are on Tuesday's candle, which would be tomorrow the 28th. So we have flipped support into resistance. That is not good for the bulls anyways. If you are looking to accumulate at a lower price, well then that is good for anybody who's looking for that. We are definitely in a short-term downtrend. We have a lower low. So we have initially the nice big breakout, higher high. Very happy to see that. Plus, we were breaking out of the pennant pattern. Weak close, so that wasn't good for the end of the session. Resistance, and then we're back into the pennant pattern, lower high. And guys, we have a lower low taking place, and then we have found resistance at that underneath that support line in the pennant pattern. So what was once support is now resistance. Let's move on to some more bearish things, guys. Not to get you guys down here, although if you are earning any kind of a reward here from Flare, I'm sure you're okay with the price fluctuating. Maybe you would like a higher price, but at least you're getting some compensation for owning Flare. Or if you're looking to buy more, you're getting a better discount than just a couple days ago. Everybody's scenario is a little bit different. Something else, like I said, for the bearish scenario, unfortunately, but that's the reality, is this has a rounding topping pattern to it. And what I'm afraid of here, at least for the bullish scenario, is we get a big break to the downside once again, taking us down to roughly 35, 39, this level right here. We had support there back in the 25th of January. So I think we could test that again. And if we break these lows over here, these candles on the 9th and 10th of February, like I said, I do think we will be heading down to that 35, 39 level, breaking this key support right around the 38.02 level, which we found support on in the 26th. So that is to the bearish scenario, guys, is we get a big break below 38.02 and it takes us down to 35.39 roughly. So if we take from where we're trading at now and head down to that 35.39 level, it's about a 10% move, give or take. So nothing too crazy, but it's still more momentum to the downside. That's if we get that break below 38.02, which would take us down to 35.39. So it would be good to see the 38.02 hold as support, which it did right here so far on the 26th. And it would be good to see us stay above the lows over here on the 10th and 9th of February. All of that would help us not get down to 35.39. So far, we're just ping-ponging in between our 39.62 and our 38.02 levels. So some key takeaways are, it's not looking good for the bulls for Flare right now. It's looking like this thing actually wants to break to the downside. A recovery back above the pennant pattern. So if we broke above 39.62 and we could get back up into the 41.28 level, well, then I would start to flip my my opinion here into a more bullish scenario, especially if we get above the 25th high and up into the 43.01 level. That gets us above some of the most recent highs. It also gets us above the upper resistance line in the pennant pattern, also back above the what was once support line in the pennant pattern. So all those little things come together, and that would give me more of a bullish stance. But right now, it's looking sideways to a potential break to the downside. That's kind of where I'm at here, unfortunately. It depends on what Bitcoin does too, like I have said many times. And if we look at this Bitcoin chart here, I know a lot of people don't follow or don't care too much about Bitcoin, but unfortunately, it does matter. So we have this big support that came in at 21,694. We had a big break up, and we have rolled over. We have found support at 22,500, which was an important level going back about 2 weeks or so. But what this looks like here for Bitcoin is we're wedging up, and unfortunately, these usually end to the downside, a break to the downside. We do have a potential 22,500, 21,694 as support. If not, it's down to the $20,000 mark, 20,678. So if that takes place, I don't see how Flare could break to the upside. Anything's possible, of course, but I don't see it. It's not going to help the situation. Let's put it that way. It's not going to help Flare break out to the upside if Bitcoin really heads down a couple $1,000s into that. Head back to the Bitcoin chart. It's not going to help if Bitcoin goes from 23 down to 20. It's not going to help Flare go from where it's currently at up to the 4 or mid 4 cent range, which is some of those breaks I would be looking for. So that's kind of my thoughts on Flare right now. I expect some ping-ponging in between our two levels. I'll say it once again, 39.62, 38.02, which are these two levels here. Keeping an eye out on potential break to the downside, heading to the 35.39. Now, if we get some positive news in the markets, maybe things turn around and we start to head up into that lower to mid 4-cent range, then I would take a more bullish stance on Flare Network. But right now, unfortunately, the reality is not looking too strong, looking sideways to lower for Flare. So if you're earning any kind of rewards, well, that is a positive thing. If you're looking to buy more Flare, that's also positive because you're getting a better price than a couple days or even a couple weeks ago. So that is my thoughts on the Flare Network chart right now. This is the KuCoin data deck, guys. This is a daily chart. Important areas to watch. If we blast to the upside for some reason, breaking above our 21st of February would be very important. That would probably take us up into all-time highs for this chart. Like I said, not expecting that to happen tomorrow, but if it does, well, that would be great. So I'm keeping an eye on that high there, which also found resistance at 49.10. So we have a cluster of resistance levels, 49.10, 49.65, and then up there at 5. I would be keeping my eye on the 38.02. Support came in at this circle right here on the 26th. If that fails, I would be looking over here for that to hold. The 10th of February, these lows right here. If that fails, it's down to 35.39. That's my thoughts on Flare, guys. Unfortunately, unless you're looking to buy more or enjoy your rewards, I don't see us blasting off, at least right now. It can change quick, though. If you've been in these markets for any amount of time, it can change very quick. Within a day or two, we could be rocketing to the upside. We have seen Flare have very big days. This was a 15% day right here. If we repeated a 15% day, for instance, call it today or tomorrow, Tuesday, that would take us all the way up to our 4.5 cent mark. So, like I said, things can happen very quick, usually when people don't expect it. So that's a little bit of positivity here for this video. Guys, I appreciate you checking out the channel, joining in, leaving your opinions in the comments. All opinions are welcome. Not everybody will or should agree necessarily on all the same things. It's not how the world works, not how the world goes around. You need different opinions, different ideas. Also, guys, people look at things differently. What is right to you might not be right to somebody else, so on and so forth. So feel free to share your opinions in the comments, price targets, whatever you guys want. It's all welcome. Very lenient on the comments, as long as they aren't harsh and harmful to other people. All is welcome. You guys have a great evening. It is Monday the 27th. Tomorrow we'll be back Tuesday. Let's see what happens tonight in the markets, and hopefully Flare doesn't crash to the downside. But if it does, at least all those buyers out there will be getting a discount. All right, going to wrap this video up as there is hail hitting the window, if you cannot hear it already. All right, guys, take care.